Hi everyone, so it's been a few days since my last video and I wanted to do a tag video that I seen. This is a tag by Hungry Bookworm and it is the How Do You Read a Book tag. Basically, it is about your approach to books. So before I move on, I want to tag people. I thought I seen Tyler J comment on this on her original video. And so I would love to see their take on this. I would love to see a video from Minnie's Book Journey, The Legendary Reader, Todd the Librarian, Matilda Gothica, and Books of Blood. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. And anybody else watching, I would love to see your take on this. So the first question is, how do you go into reading a book? Do you read spoilers? Do you read synopsis? Do you just go in blind? So I have been a reader for as long as I can remember. It might have picked up like in the first grade, maybe the second when I started reading Goosebumps. Um, but yeah, I've been a reader for years. And, I think maybe not for everyone, but for at least me, the way you approach books from childhood to adulthood changes. And again, it might be different for different people based upon age and location and this and that. When I was younger, we didn't have social media the way we have it now. There really wasn't a Facebook when I was like 10 and 11 years old. So a lot of what I liked came from seeing other kids read it and when you got those book things that, like book fairs and those book order forms and everything you used to get, and they give you a little picture with the cover and what the book was about and everything. So I want to say, while my information or how I got information had changed from, you know, school newsletters and this and that to social media on the internet, such as Facebook forums and groups and whatever, I think what I looked for had always been the same. So how I approached it was, changed like it does for a lot of people. But how I go into it, I think, has always been the same looking back. I think it slightly changed a little bit now, but for the most part, it's stuck. And that is synopsis, summary, whatever you want to call it. I look for books that I think will make me think, that will make me feel things, whether that is sadness, whether that I think a book will make me laugh. There's drama and satire and comedy, and there are so many things that you can take from so many genres and everything. And while probably from certain influences that I have gravitated more towards certain things, I have always kind of been open. There are certain things that I really won't touch, like those romances that you see at Walmart and stuff like that, because they just don't interest me. I really am a story person. I want conflict and, slice of life kind of things and adventure and philosophy and all that other stuff. And, a touch of romance is a little okay here and there, but that's what I'm going to go for. But yeah, how I approach a book, 9 out of 10, is synopsis. If I read it somewhere, if I hear somebody talking about it on Facebook or BookTube or whatever, you know, I really like reviews, or I watch certain tag videos and look for certain words and everything, you know, or people talking about how the book made them feel or the characters, etc. I am a sucker for sad books. My favorite book is pretty sad. Um, Probably my top 10 list is pretty sad in a lot of ways. Um, but again, like I said, I like books that really make you think about society and life and just the way human beings are in general. Um, Occasionally I do catch spoilers, and they really don't bother me too much. I haven't caught too many. Like, I knew, and a lot of times it's not intentional. Again, I want to know how books made people feel. I want to know what they learned from them. Um, so, I read a lot of reviews, and sometimes, spoilers get in there, and they're not always the fault of people. It's not always intentional, but it happens. Especially if you're late to the party. Um, if like the movie is already out and everything, and it's like the third book and crap like that, I knew what happened in Mockingjay, and I still read it, and I still love it, and I think it's the second best after the first. Um, but I try to avoid spoilers just to enjoy the story a little bit more. But basically, yeah, it's reading synopsis and reviews. I try to read from different sources just because certain people might rate a book certain ways because of any reason. The writing style. They don't like a particular character. They might not really care for the genre. So I try to take from different sources. But if a book has been said by several people to have not done its research, I won't bother with it. Um, no matter how many people say that they cried because of Me Before You, the things that I have heard that the author lacked in researching, I'm probably not ever going to pick it up. Now that I've rambled, let's get on to number 2. Do you take a book at its face value? So basically, I guess from what I was gather from the video, is do you judge a book by its cover? Or do look at a book and expect it to be a certain way? By the cover, by maybe the genre it's supposed to be in. And I guess I never really paid attention. Just because now I belong to a lot of book groups, and I've been on BookTube for a few years now, or just watching book videos in general. I guess I just really haven't thought about it because, again, going back to number 1, I'm always researching what a book is about and the effect that it has had on people. So I want to say, like, if I'm out, books will catch my attention by the cover. And again, there's the saying that, you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but, something draws you to it, right? Um, and I want to say certain books are mysterious in a way that you look at the cover and it's very pretty, and you can tell that it probably has some flowery language, or if it's very cartoonish, it's probably very lighthearted, and um, a book for young children. And not all books for younger people are just silly. There are some books that the covers look like they are, they're drawn and everything, but they're not very cartoony. Some are very artistic in a way. And you can tell it's more of a mature book. And I kind of get certain feelings going into books. Now, there are books that will surprise you. So I guess I'm kind of mixed on this one. For the most part, when I pick up a book and I see a certain art style, a certain font type, the colors they use, etc., I kind of expect a certain thing. Now, some books are more than you would expect. Um, you know, this book here, and reading what it's about and the cover, I expected probably some romance, because it is about a mermaid making a human fall in love with her. I wasn't expecting this much mention of mythology. Um, I didn't expect it to be as flowery as it is, as flowing in the language. It's, I think, marked as a YA book. It's not that long. I expected maybe some urban fantasy kind of things, but this is set like in ancient Greece. Um, I guess I didn't think that it was that long ago. I thought maybe it would be like loosely based on myth, but it got a few mentioned in here. Beauty Queens by Liva Bray. I read the back. You see the cover, you'll know what I'm talking about. I expected it. I expected it to be silly, or funny, humorous, just like her book, Going Bovine, because it has a cow upright and holding a lawn gnome. But while both books had a lot of humor, I was surprised, about the depth that they had. Um, Again, there's just so many books that are so much more than their cover. Um, Matilda is about a young girl and everything who loved books and everything, but she has a problematic family, and there's other stuff going on. Um, yeah, there's so much, and I probably can just do an entire video on books that were so much more than I thought they were going to be. Let's see. As a reader or reviewer, do you read a book differently if you're going to review it? Do you venture into other genres to review? So I don't think I read books differently when I'm going to review them. I've been reviewing books for at least almost 4 or 5 years now. Definitely more so in the last 3 years. I have really been reviewing books, and I don't read them any differently. I want to say I read books in general differently than I did when I was younger. I still think, again, I looked for what the book was about and everything, But I was a little less picky with books at the time versus now. Now I, really look for character development and, again, if the author did proper research, about a particular type of people, mythology, culture, job, anything. So I'm definitely, I guess, a little bit more critical of books. I definitely want to know that the author did their work. So I think that's the only difference, but it's not just for reviewing, it's just for my reading too. So yeah. I still enjoy books for their story, but I look for more from the story now. Do I venture into other genres? Not just for reviewing, but to just expand, to not miss out on anything. I am so glad that I found BookTube, and I am happy that the things like YouTube and BookTube within YouTube exist. Um, I'm glad for social media in that way that you know types or different types of books can get to people all over the world. You know, novels, graphic novels, manga, um, adult, middle grade, etc. Just all kinds of things. I really don't read or expand anything differently for my reviews. I do it for myself, and but I am happy that I have more eclecticism in my reviews. I'm not a YA channel. I'm not an adult book channel. I'm not a graphic novel channel. I am whatever the hell I want to read channel, and it'll continue to be that. Anyways, this tag is going on past 17 minutes, so for this video. So I'll stop here because that's the end of the questions, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.